like that.
So I'm here with Messiah Jacobs, who is over 20 years of experience in the entertainment industry and is the CEO of Four Screens, a management development and production company that produces fresh new content celebrating underrepresented voices. With over 2 decades of production experience, he has worked with the most successful names in entertainment. Messiah's knowledge of the business allows him to navigate the industry and close deals. Messiah is a proud member of both the Producers Guilds of America and Directors Guilds of America. How are you doing today, Messiah?
Oh, pleasure, man. Thanks for having me, man. I'm really excited to be on the show.
Oh man, I'm so excited like to have you. First off, why did you decide to pursue a career in the entertainment industry?
Yeah, good question. I mean, there's so many other easier industries to be a part of, but entertainment has such a wide reach. You're able to communicate with so many people and share your dreams, but also shape people's dreams. So for me, it was kind of like a no-brainer. And I always love storytelling. I have a degree in finance, so I was always on the business side of entertainment. And I just love that whole aspect of being able to tell a story, reach millions, shape people. It's powerful, man. It's powerful. There's no other business like it in the world.
Definitely. And you're doing some big things over at Four Screens, which is a Black-owned management and production company helmed by yourself. Could you talk a little bit about some of the challenges you faced starting the company and how you overcame them?
Yeah, absolutely. It's coming out this year how the industry has not treated every production company fairly. There's inequities built into the system, especially in entertainment where a lot of it is who you know. And the question becomes, how do we get to know those people? Four Screens, I've been doing Four Screens for the last 20 years. And, at first we started off project basis. It was all about, one project, one film led to this film. I was able to work with some great pioneers like Robert Townsend and just really create projects, that were, I would say, Black centric, but at the same time, get a new perspective out there. But over the last 3 years, we decided that we really needed, if we wanted to have an impact on the industry, we really needed to expand Four Screens' mission and include management in there. We've managed the estate of Old Dirty Bastard of the Wu-Tang Clan for the last 10 years. And, that was one of our clients. And then we said, you know what, if we want to really impact this, where do we see the least amount of inclusion? And that happens to be in management and agency. You don't see us in that. You might see us in front of the camera, but you don't see us behind the camera, but then you don't see us in the business of Hollywood. So that for us was our big change. And that's kind of the path that led me, to this now and to Four Screens' mission.
For sure. You talked a little bit about the diversity problem in Hollywood. UCLA, they recently released a report which found in 2020 movie watchers in the U.S. are becoming more diverse and prefer content with greater diversity. And then the number of ethnic minorities involved in watching or making American movies also increased. How far do you feel that the diversity problem in Hollywood is from being solved?
I think we're very far away. And let me say, the strides that have been made have been good, but we're very far away. What you see from audiences is they want diversity. They enjoy it. They enjoy seeing a slice of the world when they are entertained. And you can see that in the big blockbusters, right? When you're watching a movie and they switch from New York to Africa, back to Florida. That's diversity. That's diversity of space and geographics, but then diversity of culture. And audiences really do want that. Now you're starting to see more people consciously being represented, with the success of like Black Panther, some of the success we had, this year with different projects, Judas and the Black Messiah, seeing that project move forward and getting the Oscar race. So you're starting to see more diversity in front of the camera, but we still need it behind. Where we lack is directors, we lack writers, Then when you get into crew members, you don't see diversities on set. And then when you get into what we're focused on, which is management and agency, that means like career development, you're not seeing that. So I feel like Hollywood has a long way to go. I do like what Hollywood is doing. I like some of the conscious changes people are making, but you also need people in decision-making positions to green light projects and understand the development of certain projects and how those projects need to be cultivated to get to audiences.
For sure. And I read that you were expanding your roster of diverse directors and noticed you recently signed 2 award-winning African-American directors, Addison Henderson, winner of the 2020 Black Film Festival Best Screenplay Award for his feature film Givers of Death, and Abdul Malik Abbott, well known for directing the cult classic movie State Property featuring Jay-Z. So what are the qualities you look when taking on clients?
We're looking for fresh voices, people who have voices, who are ready and artistically know how to represent their voice. Addison, as you pointed out, he was the winner of Best Screenplay at the African American Film Festival, which is an event that, definitely shines, and highlights diversity. Um, and then you're talking about Abdul, and he has done phenomenal work. So for us, it's we're just looking for people who have that voice, who have vision, and we're looking for all groups that have been underrepresented. We're slowly getting our roster up, but as we do, we're bringing in more voices. So if you're out there and you feel like, hey, I've been directing I've made a short, I've made a feature, I've been directing for 1 or 2 years, but I want to still figure out my brand and my voice, and then I want to go with a company that's all about development, please reach out to Four Screens.
That's awesome. How can people reach out to you?
Directly on Instagram. Instagram is always an easy way to reach out to us. Then our website, we're at 4-screens.com. They can reach out. And I'm pretty easy to find, to be honest. I'm one of those people with a name like Messiah Jacobs. There's no way for me to hide. One Google click and you're going to have my email. You might have my home address, so.
Is there a story around the origin of your name?
I have often asked my mom, because my whole name is Messiah Joshua Jacobs. So she laid it on me, she really, put it on me from all directions, and I couldn't get away with much of anything. But I've asked her, is there a story behind it? She hasn't said anything, but she's a very hopeful person. I know she has a lot of hope. And, that's something I try to carry forward. And I think it's laced into the mission of Four Screens, because we are giving hope to a lot of people who've been in this industry for a while who are underrepresented, and then new voices. And we need more of that, because that's what's going to move the dial and push things. And one of the nice things about entertainment is when you represent people the right way, it creates respect. You humanize people, you humanize their existence and their story. And that's where we haven't had that. If you look at most of TV for the last 10 years, it's been a dehumanization of certain groups. And then that leads down the road of people not respecting them in real life. And you see all the things you have. And this is why you have social unrest, one of the reasons. But I really believe in the humanization of people and their stories, and the dignity that you can have by telling people's stories correctly.
Man, it's dope. You've worked, with some of the most successful names in the entertainment industry. You touched on a little bit of it earlier, from Robert Townsend, Vivica A. Fox, Billy D. Williams. Can you share some of the highlights of your career?
Yeah, working with Robert, Robert Townsend, just a true pioneer. One of the first people to really kick open that door in Hollywood with Hollywood Shuffle, and just a number of the films that he did that are iconic, to the 5 Heartbeats. And to be able to work directly with him and to produce projects like Diary of a Single Mom, and then we did a number of projects together in films. It really was a highlight, but it also taught me the art of production, right? Like, how do you produce, and how do you do it with humanity? Sometimes producers can be, they could be put in a box where they're like, oh, that guy's trying to cheat me, or that they're doing something else. And it was really about how do you do it with love and compassion, and really start to understand inclusion on a higher level, right? Because we weren't setting out to just make films representing one group, African Americans. We were setting out to tell great stories. Now, the characters happen to be African American. And so, how do you do that? And that was a highlight, that we could get out there and tell those stories. But I've been blessed, and I've had to make my own way through Hollywood, and that's also a factor in it not being open, right? If the studio system is not open to you, but you still have stories to tell, then you have to make your own way. And that's been part of my career the whole way. And that's one of the things that I learned from Robert as well, was that, hey, when they don't want to finance your film, you have to get your film financed.
What would be your advice to, people who have the dream to, like, pursue a career in Hollywood but don't have the connections?
I would say, one, hone your craft. And what I mean by that is shoot. Like, our phones have cameras. Tell stories. Get with other people of like minds and have them read your stuff. If you're a script writer, have someone read your stuff. If you're a director, work on your visuals. There's so much you can do. I go to YouTube University every day, and it's like, click on YouTube and watch a video. You'd be surprised, like, how much you can learn from that. And you don't have to spend the money on film school. You don't have to spend the money here, and you can learn, and you can hear it directly from great storytellers. Then do your research. One of the things that we're doing at Four Screens is we're breaking down doors and barriers. But we're not doing it simply for ourselves. We're doing it for those people who want to tell stories and have honed the craft to tell those stories. So reach out to us. It's not just, me doing it, Four Screens doing it by ourselves. There's a number of firms out here breaking down doors. I touched on Macro earlier with the success they had with their film. Array is doing it as well, Ava DuVernay's company. So I would say, do your research and find us. We're looking for you as well. So, but do your homework. Don't come to us, you haven't done your homework, but you want to be put on, right? It's like, do your homework, then come through, and let's figure out if there's a path for you, because there are more opportunities, but I'm not going to say it's infinite, but we are blazing that road, not for ourselves, but to champion people with voices that are underrepresented.
For sure. The pandemic's been going on for the last year. How has that affected the work that you do?
It's, from a business standpoint, it has forced us all to adapt to a new way of business. I actually think it has helped our business, because I'm able to take more meetings. I'm able to meet more people. For example, you and I are talking right now, right? It's like, we don't have to be face to face. We can do this quickly, click of the button, and make it happen. And we can be distant. And that has helped our business. It actually has changed our whole business model, because we realize now, do we really need that office on Rodeo Drive? Do we need that office? Can we still be effective, working in individual pods? How effective can we be? And it's changed our business, and it's helped me almost meet new people all over the world that are talented, not just whoever I could touch or whoever I could take a meeting with. Now I can meet with somebody from, Tanzania, and we have a meeting, and then I can say, oh, wow, I could see this, and they can send me their reel. So I really feel like it's not about getting back to business as usual is how do we do business better? How do we take what we've learned from this, horrific event and build on it and do business better? And that's one of the things I do like at Four Screens. We're changing not only the model of what we do, but we're changing how we do it.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Messiah, for your time. I appreciate talking to you.
Oh man, brother, this is great. And I just want to say, man, keep doing what you're doing. I really enjoyed watching your programs. That was a real joy to just, get to see your work. And so it's much needed because we have to get our stories out there and get people who are working out there, and you're really educating a lot. So thank you for having me on the show.
You're so welcome. And like, I really, like, I learned a lot, like, just from speaking with you. You have so much wisdom, and, I appreciate you for blazing the trail,
Yes, brother. Yes, yes. This is good. Well, we'll connect again.
Most definitely.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.